Yep, that's his grave there. I just remember that, you know, when I buried him, I had to come back after 2 weeks and put extra body parts back into his grave that they used for autopsy. And they gave him back, and I had to redig and put it back in there, and I remember that, I'll never forget that. And he was innocent. That's what hurts you, bro. My name's Ahmed Harachi, they call me the Muslim Undertaker. So look, what I do here is I give people their final rites in the Muslim faith, the final rites at the time of death. We get them in here, we wash them, we shroud them, we pray upon them, and we take them to the cemetery and bury them.
You've seen firsthand the devastation organised crime and the underworld can deal to families, friends, fathers, mothers. There's also the innocent people that have been caught up in all this.
Young Ahmed.
Ahmed Al-Azam.
Ahmed.
Yeah.
You just mentioned him, I cried because his dad stood right there. He stood right here. And Ahmed's head was right there. His dad stood there, washing his head and talking all these good words, saying my son's innocent. My son had aspirations to get married, have a family, and have a chance like everyone else here. And that chance was taken selfishly by people who were, you know, no care in the world for life. Amy is another one who ended up being at the wrong place, wrong time, as they say. I buried her, man. I put her at rest. I felt like this girl had been given her rights now. She could rest now.
And that's just another innocent life taken.
That's the word, innocent.
Monday night about 10 o'clock, 19th of May, phone starts going, been a shooting. A young man, a plumber called John Versace, is killed. He's 23 years of age. He has no criminal links. His family have no criminal links. Police have looked at the address to make sure that it wasn't the residence of a former crook. This kid has nothing to do with the underworld.
Mr Versace was an unintended victim. The family of Mr Versace will have a lifetime of suffering ahead of them. To have their son murdered at the doorstep of his own home for no apparent reason, in those circumstances, is undescribable.
Police! Search warrant! Open the door!
No, even though the offenders have been arrested for that, I mean, people talk about closure, and are the family ever going to get any closure in this matter? I don't think so. No. There's no rhyme or reason why Mr Versace was murdered.
Unfortunately, these hire a gun, hire a killer now.
The BMW Expo sale event is on now. Don't wait. Ends June 30.
So, Scott, what made you switch to Yui?
Look, the process was great, the service was awesome, and the cost savings made it an absolute no-brainer.
They sound like an insurance unicorn. Is it?
Yui, you insured.
Now that we're seeing so often, the people doing it have no honour anymore. There used to be restrictions like no-go zones, like don't come to the parents, you don't come to people's houses. Now it's all open season.
Police believe the murder of innocent Bankstown woman Tai Kim Tran could have been avoided. The mother became a crime gang target after her husband didn't show up to a meeting with his alleged associates.
She was violently kidnapped, stripped naked, and when this criminal group couldn't achieve what they wanted to achieve, and that was to lure her husband out and have him return to a property in Melbourne, they murdered her and put her in a car and burnt her. That, I would say, was one of the most horrific crimes committed to an innocent party in the history of my career. The young, vulnerable men from Western Sydney areas who belong to street gangs. They're not high-level criminals, they're not very intelligent. We have, on this occasion, been really successful in locating and prosecuting these offenders.
Serious and organised crime emanating from Southeast Asia has always been there, and it ebbs and flows in terms of the level of violence and the level of notoriety. The more experienced organised crime figures don't want the attention. It's the inexperienced ones, or the ones with egos the size of a house, that decide to have a public battle and explosion in violence.
Sydney didn't even know about Asian crime until they exploded on the streets of Cabramatta in the mid-90s. There was an Asian crime gang, mainly full of very, very young men, called the 5T. And they absolutely terrorised Cabramatta. They were massive in the heroin trade. The train was called the Smack Express, where everybody would catch the train from the city, suburbs, wherever, come to Cabramatta to score their heroin. Knives and machetes were stashed in pubs, in pot plants along the street. They were extorting shopkeepers. They literally were a menace. A MP was assassinated as he was a bit of an anti-drugs campaigner, John Newman. That's the sort of ruthlessness they had. But that was our first exposure to Asian crime. So the 5T imploded and Asian crime went back to where it had always been, in the shadows, incredibly secretive. Now, in the last 18 months, we've seen murders attributed to Asian crime and them linking up with Coconut Cartel, which is really concerning. When David Koo was killed on December 29, 2024, no one really knew who he was, but it was a...
The BMW Expo sale event is on now. Don't wait. Ends June 30.
When life gets tough, you need someone in your corner. At Maurice Blackburn, we'll fight for you every step of the way. Because everyone deserves access to justice. Call Maurice Blackburn. No win, no fee.
Was a brazen daylight hit. He was racing down the road when he collapsed and died in a driveway.
The motive behind Mr Koo's murder was related to his drug activity. He may have been responsible for stealing a large quantity of drugs from an unknown organised crime syndicate, and that crime syndicate had put out a bounty on his head for up to $600,000.
Police! Search warrant! Over the door!
3 persons have been arrested in relation to this matter, one offender charged with murder. Those 3 offenders all originate from Syrian crime groups.
6 months later, a young man by the name of Dat Dang falls off a building site in Ho Chi Minh City in very mysterious circumstances, seen in the company of 2 men who later turn out to be Australian bikies. What we didn't know then was that Dat Dang and David Koo actually owned a bottle shop and worked together at Canley Vale.
Hey guys, welcome back to Liquor Group Australia and another episode of Fun Things.
Now, what's emerged is they were part of an Asian crime syndicate involved in the distribution and supply of drugs in Sydney.
Cracks have appeared in one of Sydney's most infamous underworld families.
Samir Bazari, there were 4 attempts on his life in literally a matter of months.
So they would have been travelling down this road and the attackers following them.
We will not tolerate these lawless thugs with their vendettas against each other and putting in danger innocent victims in our community.